Hey everyone, welcome back to RealGolfersTalk.com. I'm Jason, I'm your host, and I'm excited we get to talk about the final round of the Greenbrier Classic, which turned out to be, as it was, a really good tournament, but there was a lot of drama at the end. A lot of drama, a lot of excitement. You didn't know who was going to win. There was guys coming up and faltering. A lot of good stuff. But there was one guy who played consistent. Was it Sebastian Munoz? He led after all three rounds going into the final round. Did he come away with his first victory? No, he did not. He did not, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Who did win, though, we're going to give a thumbs up to, which is exciting. Exciting because he's from San Diego, and I grew up in San Diego, is Xander Schauffele. He won, shoots 14 under for the tournament, 67. Great round of golf, very consistent, good round. And that is awesome. Good for him, first time winner. Not only is it first time winner, he gets to play in the Open Championship, which he really wanted to do. Another young guy, rookie on the tour, comes out, gets himself into a major championship by winning, and sets another bar higher, a little bit higher for all these young guys that come out that continue to win tournaments for the first time at a very young age. You know, we've seen so in the past, it took forever, it seemed, to get a win, because I mean, when you're playing against Tiger Woods, who's dominating the fields, and then you got all these other guys, you see domination. We haven't seen a lot of domination. You know, we've had guys do well, like Dustin Johnson had a run last year, and you had Jason Day, and you had Jordan Spieth, and you see these guys making runs, and McIlroy, but we've seen so many more first-time winners, guys that are just coming up with big wins that are younger. And it just makes golf even that much more interesting. It puts another perspective on another guy. Now this kid, Xander Schauffele, has experience on how to win a tournament. So now when he goes somewhere, now he's going to get a major experience now and playing in the Open, especially the British Open where he's playing overseas. So it just brightens his horizon so much more to the game of golf, and also puts him in a category that is elite. And when I say elite, I don't mean he's the top guy now, but he separates himself a little bit from these guys that haven't won. And at a young age, you have more confidence. You know, when you don't have to play as many tournaments and then you win, then now you're going to have so much more confidence going into the next round. So it's really good to see young guys win, because it just makes, again, another name for you to think about while you're watching another tournament. And now you go, oh, well, Xander Schauffele won last week. What's he going to do this week? Because you weren't thinking about that. If he hadn't won, you wouldn't be thinking, oh, he might win this week. Now you're going to think, oh, well, he won last week. Now he can win because he's proven it. So that's the conversation that just I love to have. I love to talk about just another guy that's already added to the star-studded field of guys that can win on tour. But going through the leaderboard real quick, you got Xander Schauffele, 14 under, wins by one stroke, birdied 18, by the way. And you got Robert Streb, 13 under, shoots 69, gets solo second. Then you got Jamie Lovemark at 12 under, and Sebastian Munoz at 12 under, tied for third. Those guys all who were not in the Open Championship are now in the Open Championship. You had to be either in fourth or tied for fourth or higher to get into the Open Championship. So all four of those guys were not in the championship. Now they are. Congratulations for that. Even though they didn't win, they're still in the Open Championship and get the major experience. So that's really cool. Good for them. And then you get Kelly Craft at 11 under, Russell Henley 11 under, Ryan Blum shot a 64 to get himself to 10 under, get himself on the leaderboard. Good for him. I mean, obviously didn't have a chance to win, but just to get yourself up there, to get yourself in the top 10, that's phenomenal. I mean, he got a 7th place finish. That's a really good place to be, especially when, you know, you've never won. So then you get Tony Finau, you know, shoots 10 under par for the tournament, and Danny Lee 9 under. The thing is, though, with these guys, these 9 guys I just listed, that's a leaderboard. Okay, 5 of them shot 69. 5 of them. Sebastian Munoz shot 72. So 69 is not a terrible round. It's not. You didn't hurt yourself, but you didn't win either. You can't, and if you look at their rounds, they all had something happen. Streb double bogeyed a hole because he had a terrible drive, and ends up double bogeying a hole. He hit it in the hazard. You can't hit it in the hazard. He had the lead by 2 shots. He was 14 under. Look what happens. You add those 2 shots. Let's say he pars that hole. He had 2 shots. He wins by 1. You hurt yourself when you do stuff like that. Who can put the ball in the fairway? When you put the ball in the fairway and you hit greens and you putt consistent, you're going to win. And you know who did that? Shooting a 67 was Xander Schauffele. He played the most consistent round. To me, the best round. Not just because he won, but because of the way he did it. He didn't look scared. He didn't play like, oh, I've never done this before. He putted well. He only missed 1 fairway. It was the only bogey. He had 4 birdies, 1 bogey. The only bogey was the 1 fairway that he missed. And he had a short putt for par that he barely missed. But he played consistent. He putted well. And that's how you win. And now that, you see this guy with that much confidence and playing like that, it's just awesome to see. And it's a big congratulations to him. Robert Streb, I'm sure, looked very frustrated. It's not like he played terrible, but again, when you shoot yourself in the foot, you pay for it. Especially in golf, there's so many guys that can win, and that's what happened to him. He's been in this position before, and just again shoots himself in the foot. So, and then Jamie Lovemark, he had a double bogey as well. Sebastian Munoz, just to talk about him, again, he's in the Open and good for that, but the one thing that I'm sure he's going to take away from this final round, final grouping that he was in, is he needs to slow down. He started out really fast. He was inconsistent with his shots. His putting was nowhere near what it was. He was draining everything. Made almost 400 feet of putts in the first 3 rounds. He couldn't make anything because, again, his putter got quicker. Everything was fast. He played fast. He didn't play with the same tempo that he played with in rounds 1 through 3 that he should have played in round 4. He was very fast. So that's what happened. He did calm down a little bit, made a couple birdies, so we'll give him props for that. He didn't just give up and just have like a 76 or 77, but he did shoot a 72. And again, he was already 14 under par. That was the winning score. Had he just shot even par, we're talking about a playoff. He just shoots a 69, he wins. So, these types of things, that's how you lose. It's not that Xander Schauffele won, because he did win, and he played great to win, he deserved to win. But Sebastian Munoz, all he had to do was do exactly what he did. He shot a 68 yesterday, a 67 the day before. So he could have shot a 68, 69, and won the tournament. He was in position with 2-shot lead that you got a lot of guys that haven't won behind you. They're not going to, more than likely, as we've seen so many times, they're not going to make this massive run. Xander Schauffele had to shoot a 67, a great round of golf, to tie 14 under. So if you don't shoot yourself in the foot like he did, then it's a whole different story. But again, he should still be proud of the way he played. It's experience. You need that experience. And now he gets to go to a major championship. So it's not a total loss. I know he's going to, feel bad about it. Of course, you had a chance to win. You were in a perfect position to win. But it didn't work out. But hopefully he doesn't beat himself up about it. Hopefully he just comes out and does, continues to grow on that, because it all is a learning experience. Some people take a little more time than others to learn how to play that way. And how long have they played? How many tournaments have they played in before this? So all these things come into play, but he shouldn't be upset at all about the way he played this week. Because this week, to shoot 12 under par for a week is a really good score. And he, like I said, tied for 3rd. Can't be upset. It's a top 5 finish, top 3 finish. So that's really good. And you got Kelly Craft, again, 69, up and down round, made some bogeys, made some birdies. Henley, same thing, made some birdies, made some bogeys. And, like I said, Ryan Blom to shoot, 64 to get himself to 10 under. That's a really good round and bogey-free round. So good for him. And Tony Finau shoots 68 again, a couple bogeys, but made more birdies. And Danny Lee was just, he started off bad and then just got a couple birdies coming back in. He was 2 over, and then he birdies 3 holes over, I think it was like the last 13 holes or something, and, gets in. But, it was a good tournament, though, because, again, a lot of these guys have won. Henley's won before. Lee's won before. I think Tony Finau's won. Everybody else hasn't won yet. So everybody else, 6 guys on this leaderboard haven't won. And, like I said, the top 4 get to go to the Open Championship. So it's really good stuff. As far as on the other side, we're going to talk about Jon Rahm, because that's an interesting topic. I think that's an interesting, kind of how he won. He won the Irish Open over on the European Tour. And Jon Rahm, that's his 2nd win so far. this year, again, a rookie this year, second worldwide win, so that's big for him and what goes on. But there's kind of this controversy with the marked ball. I don't know if you guys read this, but you should check it out. He apparently moved his ball marker to allow Daniel M to putt, and he apparently video camera caught that he didn't put it back correctly in the correct spot. But because of the change of the rules, and everything, what happened with Brooke Henderson, I think it was Brooke Henderson, but the fact that they changed all those rules, now they're not going to go back and look at video. They're going to go back to talk to the player, and if he made as best as he could placement of the ball, they're going to accept that, and that's what happened. So he ends up winning the tournament based on that. So that's kind of one of those topics where, you know, somebody gets burnt because of video, then they go back and somebody could have been penalized for something they should have been penalized for, and you know, they changed the rule because of that one thing, and then here they go, and then now they change it, and then look what happens. So I mean, somebody else could have won that tournament based on that. And golf has always been about, you know, exact. I know it's hard to be exact, but that's why you're supposed to, when you move your ball marker, you're supposed to look at a specific object, look over, whether it's a tree or a sprinkler head or whatever, and you're supposed to put your putter on direct line with that. So you can get as close to that as that. And he was off. So that's just one of those things where, again, what do? You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. It's a really shitty situation, really, and it's a shitty situation for golf, like in general. Like if you're making those rules, like you just changed the rule because you think you're helping players. Now you're gonna look at this. Now you're gonna get scrutinized for this kind of shit. So it's like, what the fuck do you do? It's a really thin line, and it's hard to be. It's just, you know, when you're in this kind of shit, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna have rules that work and rules that don't. There's these really fine line of rules where that's the job in the media, right? To literally depict every little thing and make it sound terrible when it's terrible and sound great when it's great. But there's always going to be a problem, whether it was with her or it is with Jon Rahm. There's always a fucking problem. So it just kind of sucks if you're in that position. You make these rules and you see that. So, and then also I just want to throw a quick shout out to Chesson Hadley, who ends up winning the Web.com tournament. Mr. Finger Snapper, you know, I'm sure you guys have seen him on the PGA Tour. Obviously lost his card, had to go back to the Web.com Tour, but he wins, so that's good for him. Hopefully we'll see him back out on the tour, getting a little finger snap when he birdies and shit. So that's cool that he won. I think he shot like 22 under or something. It's a ridiculous number, but good for him because, I mean, yeah, a personality, right? When a guy's gonna finger snap, we haven't seen that kind of shit. So good for him, but you know, that's just a notable, not a big topic I want to talk about all day, but definitely deserves a shout out for that. So final round coverage: Xander Schauffele wins 14 under, shoots 67, best round on the course. Congratulations, he's in the Open. Now I'm more excited to watch the Open. And, you know, now we're going to get into the John Deere, which tomorrow we'll get into the top fives and, you know, all that good stuff and what's coming up, what the course looks like. So really excited for that, but I appreciate all the support, all the video watches. Thank you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to do so. I have comment page, so please make sure to write the comments or send emails. I appreciate any kind of feedback I can get. And that's pretty much it. All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining me. I'm Jason. This is Real Golfers Talk. I'll see you guys next time.